So this is the crew that came with me to the pet store today. Bunch of punks. So this is the last room of the pet store. He's got his little koi pond down here. He's got a little turtle in the center. Looks like they're eating something down there, I don't know. I think they threw some food into them. He's got your pet supplies, some little lizards. I think some of these are just pets though, not for sale. This one here is a fire skink. I don't know if he's in there. This one's for sale. Oh, this one's in there. Little snake. And then these are sand boas. I don't know where they're at. They like to bury. Oh, they're back in there. Yeah, can't really get a good look on them though. Oh, we got a little, I don't know if it's a crested gecko or a gargoyle gecko. Got big old red-tailed boa. What we got over here? We got some, well, a red iguana. He's a big guy. His name is Frankie. Like Frank.
He's a big old bobcat.
Big old bobcat. We got some green anoles down here. What else we have? Leopard geckos. I don't know if there's anything in any of those. They're empty. Oh, here's some an emerald swift hanging upside down. And their mastics. Okay. Got a bunch of stuff over here people can buy for their tanks. Oh, there's a little axolotl tank over here too. So go ahead and tell me a little bit about some of these fish in here.
Okay, so when we first opened our shop, we've been in and out of a lot of pet stores you know, around the area and different places, you know, just like any hobbyist, checking stuff out. And everyone has a show tank. Mm-hmm. Like the best of the best fish, you know, don't touch, you can't have it, show fish. Like these are mine. So we initially started with what we were going to do was a show tank. Well, it quickly turned to more of a rescue tank. Like, hey man, I've got this fish, like this Jack Dempsey down here, for instance. Hey man, we got this fish. He looks pretty rough. We don't have the heart to just let him go, or, you know, end his life. You know, can you help us out? So he made his way into our tank.
Right.
And then it was, hey man, I've got this fish that's all deformed. He's been in a tank too long, too small. I don't know if he's gonna make it. Can you take him? It took us about probably almost a month to get him to even remotely swim normal.
Right.
So what this tank has turned into is a retirement breeding tank. So some of our old breeders that we have are in here. And more so, just a spot for people to bring that sick, ugly, nasty, don't know what to do with fish and not execute it. So we call it our story tank, because every single fish in here has a story to it.
Right.
Or our retirement tank. And we absolutely love it. It's a showpiece. People are always
They're
like,
beautiful fish too.
thank you.
Yeah.
Like the clown loach. Clown loaches are lazy when they get bigger. They like to lay on their sides a lot. So we get the question a couple times a week, hey man, I think one of your fish in here are dead. Like, nah, he's just a lazy fish. He gets fed and he sleeps all day, he's good to go. So that's what this is. It's our story tank. Nothing in here is perfect, besides a couple, like our flatacent, that's an old breeder. He's a phenomenal fish. The Azurius hap right here, you can see he's deformed.
Right.
We've got fish in here missing eyes. We got a lemon jake over here that doesn't have an eye.
Okay, yeah, I did see him a minute ago.
Another Obi over here that's missing an eye. First gen from our albino Obies, he's got a crooked
This
mouse.
is one of the biggest OB I've ever seen too.
It's an Obi happer, Obi redfin, Orlei, Empress mix.
Gotcha.
I mean, all Obies are hybrids to begin with, but that's the generation line that we got of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's what it is. A lot of these fish in good health, I don't know if I would intermix in a tank.
Right.
You're hard pressed to keep South and Central Americans with, you know, your African cichlids, your haps and peacocks. But it works in here, but I think most of it is because they're all old.
Right.
They're mature old fish who have been through battles, and they're like, yeah, we're done with that. Let's just coexist and get along.
That's cool. What made you decide to start up a pet store?
So it wasn't so much a decision to just one day like, hey, I think I'm going to open a pet store. I used to work for a company that was subcontracted through First Energy, Ohio Edison, Toledo Edison. I was getting really sick for months on end and couldn't figure it out, and I was getting these big nasty infections. I lost part of my left calf muscle, I lost part of my forearm. I was spending a lot of time out of work, and we could not figure it out. I mean, this went on for 3 years. I finally went to see a disease specialist, and doing lots of tests on all my wounds and sores and things that I had on me, they found out that I was allergic to mold that grows on trees, so soil-based mold spores. And then just one day he was like, look man, your job is killing you. You have to figure something else out. You got to do something. Well, I've always bred fish. I've always been into cichlids, and we started to push it a little bit more out of our house with the intent of supplementing some of my income at the time and sharing the love of the hobby so I can make up for the time that I wasn't at work.
Right.
Well, it just kept getting bigger and bigger and more popular and bigger, to the point where we had to find a different building to go to.
Right.
So we've been in this location now for almost 2.5, 3 years. We started in one room. It's an old school building. I'm sure you walked around and checked it out. It's pretty neat where we're at. And we went from renting one room to renting 2 rooms to renting 3 rooms to renting the whole bottom floor. And it just keeps growing. And I think the passion that we have here of keeping it more basement breeder atmosphere.
It does have that atmosphere.
And when you walk in here, you're not walking into a place with $1 million equipment expecting to spend $1 million on a fish.
Right.
You know, we try to keep it as affordable as possible and as pocket friendly, and give that knowledge as well. So I think that's why people keep coming back to us, and that's why I started this. It wasn't like a childhood dream. It wasn't anything else other than a hobby and a passion that kind of just got out of control, and with life circumstances, it just all lined up right, and here we are.
Right on.
Here we are.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Absolutely, man.
Thanks for letting us come out.
My pleasure.
I have a couple big tanks at home that I gotta get set up, and when I do, I talked to you about wanted to do discus tank, and I think one of those might become a discus tank.
Ooh, fun. So, fun thing for us here is I've never done discus before until we started that smaller tank over there, and you know, the best advice I can give with that is make sure your water stays clean.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Heat and clean water.
Well, they're both
both
the tanks are acrylic, and they're both about 110 to 120 gallon.
Yeah.
And they're mirror images of themselves. So it's like, it's not a normal tank.
Right.
It's got that corner tank or diamond shape with a 75 gallon long mixed into it. You know what I mean? But then in the other one's a mirror image of it. So
while I got you on the camera, what's your favorite fish in the shop?
oh geez, your fireman's dream probably. Yes.
I'll give you a little story on those. So the Fireman's Dreams are from reputable, I don't know if I'm allowed to shout them out or not, but they're from reputable transshippers and breeders of flower horns. You've got Chris Rounds from Chris Rounds Flower Horns and Cichlids, and Julie Tran, which is where both of those flower horns came from. And we got a male and a female, and we've had them for about 1.5 years now, and we've tried to breed them several times.
Right.
I mean, I'm not an avid breeder of flower horns. It's not like I go out of my way to do it, but I like to try something once.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you what.
I tried it. It's hard.
Breeding flower horns is like trying to take 2 toddlers and stick them in a room and not have them fight and argue and torture themselves.
Yeah,
consistently.
absolutely.
So after about 1 years of trying and battle wounds and scars, we finally got a fertilized batch of eggs that grew out. We were able to get the eggs out
And
and
that's
the babies
what
out.
some of these are here.
Yeah, so that's what these are down here. Now, all the ones that faded and looked like the Fireman's Dreams are gone. Those
Right.
things went like hotcakes, and they're gone.
You still got some beautiful fish down there, though.
Thank you. There's a couple what you would call silks, which is a solid color.
Right.
And the other ones, if I had to put a name on them, I just put Fireman's Dreams unfaded. You could call them whatever you want at that point.
Right.
There you go. They're nice $40, $50 fish at 4 inches. But yeah, we were super pumped to get those out. Super pumped.
Well, again, thank you for
Absolutely.
letting me come. I'm going to come back here soon.
Yeah.
And,
I would recommend it because in 2 months, this whole room will be completely different. We've got
Right,
big
yeah,
plans
that would be sweet to
add
come
a
back,
lot in here. And
do another video.
I would love
Maybe
it.
I'll have my tank set up then and take home some fish with me.
Maybe I'll have that new 475 in there done
That'd be
for you.
sweet,
Check
too.
that one out.
Well, thank you for your time.
Absolutely, man.
Everybody come check out David at Wet Pets and Pails.
Absolutely. Port Clinton, Ohio, 3250 East State Road, directly across the street from Thor Airport.